into the action for another day of the week, the final day of the week, coming off a 2-1 performance in yesterday's video. So a couple winning days in a row here. So let's keep that rolling here. But as you can see, representing the 2022 World Series champions. You heard it here first. The Toronto Blue Jays. Glad to hear the clowns on both sides figure this thing out. And we're going to get a full 162 games of Major League Baseball. But right into today's action here. Nothing for the ice. Not going to force it. Don't like anything for the NHL. So all three picks coming on the court. Let's get right into the action. We're going to start things off in beautiful Orlando, Florida. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves in town. What do you think we're doing in a Timberwolves game? You are wrong. We're not taking the over on this one, actually. Much better bet here. Take Minnesota to cover the spread, minus 7.5 points. They are on an absolute ass-kicking tour right now. So check this out. 5 straight wins. Their last 5 wins have come by an average of 27.8 points. They are destroying bad teams, and Orlando certainly falls into the category of a bad team here, right? So enormous gap offensively favoring Minnesota in this game. The last 10 games, 6th versus 28th in EFG shooting percentage, 7th versus 29th in points per 100 possessions. And Minnesota turning a corner here defensively. We might not see as many overs here down the stretch of the regular season. Check out these numbers for them. 2nd in opponent EFG percentage and 4th in points allowed per 100 possessions over the last 10 games. And a couple interesting trends here for the Orlando Magic. First of all, they're an awful bet at home, 10-20 against the spread on their home court. And they are coming off a win, but they've been awful in this spot. 5-11 against the spread following a win this season. Give me the Timberwolves minus 7.5 in Orlando. Next up, we're going to keep things in Florida. Big Florida show here today. Miami Heat hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to take the Miami Heat minus 6.5 points. So Miami coming off a bit of an embarrassing performance versus the Phoenix Suns there the other day. But guess what? Miami is money after a loss. A great bounce back team here. 15-6-1 following a loss this season. 15-6-1 against the spread in this spot. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, fun story in the first half here, but I think the writing is on the wall that the wheels are starting to fall off just a little bit. Not a complete and total collapse, but injuries are starting to catch up to them. Of course, no Jared Allen in the lineup tonight. And the Cavs, they're falling off defensively here. Check out some of these numbers. So 27th in opponent EFG percentage and last in three-point shooting percentage over the last 10 games. Miami, meanwhile, 5th and 2nd in those categories in that span. So an enormous defensive advantage for the Miami Heat here. And another defensive advantage here is Cleveland playing very sloppy basketball when they have it in their hands. 28th in turnover percentage over the last 10 games. Miami on the defensive end forcing a lot of turnovers. 4th in opponent turnover percentage in that same span. So they're going to be forcing a lot of turnovers, getting a lot of points off turnovers. I like them to cover that 6.5. Next up, we're off to the state of Texas, the Battle of Texas, and I'm taking another big favorite here. God damn it, I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks minus 10.5 versus the Houston Rockets. So Dallas, they're coming off an ugly loss there to the New York Knicks. Who saw that one coming? But guess what? Dallas is the best bounce back team in all of the NBA. An NBA best 18-7 against the spread following a loss. That's pretty damn good here. And this is the perfect opponent to bounce back against. You know, look at the stats, whether you want to look at the full season or the last 10 games. The Rockets are in the bottom third of the league in most key stat categories, whether it be defensive or offensive. They absolutely stink here. Worst record in the Western Conference. Now, you might be thinking, but Joe, 10.5 points, that's a lot to cover. This is nothing out of the ordinary here. Big losses are the norm for the Houston Rockets. Check this out. A league high 37 losses by 10 or more points. That's 56% of their total games. Average loss has come by 15.2 points. So give me the Mavericks to bounce back. There you have it. My best bets of the night. If you're looking to do some handicapping tonight, head on over to oddshark.com. All the stats, all the trends, all the information you need to make winning picks on game day. Good luck with your bets tonight, unless you are fading me. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo!